Namaste, Nepal. Namaste, Nepali friends. And of course, Indian friends. I apologize for my last video on Nepal in regards to the protests. I just picked one that was short and I didn't do a good job. I'm sorry. To make it up to you, I thought I'm going to dive into something beautiful. The top 10 places to visit in Nepal 2025. I've been to Nepal twice, 2 times 10 months, so almost 2 years. And I loved it very, very much. It's so very dear to my heart and I hope I can visit one day. Let me know if you have been to these places and what is your favorite place in the beautiful and blessed country of Nepal.
Nepal is a surprisingly diverse country that attracts visitors for many reasons.
Yes.
Some are lured by the call of the mountains and seeking to climb or trek in the Himalayas. Others are intrigued by the culture and the famous city of Kathmandu.
Boda.
And yet others come hoping to find some sort of spiritual awakening. Nepal can be an adrenaline adventure, a cultural eye-opener, a life-changing experience, or all of the above. Most travellers spend some time in Kathmandu, visiting sacred and historic attractions, and then head out to other parts of the country. Some of the best places to visit outside the capital are Chitwan National Park and Bardia National Park for wildlife viewing, and the lakeside town of Pokhara, a popular area for embarking on treks. Trekkers will find a variety of options across Nepal, with the most important areas being the Everest, Annapurna and Langtang regions. In 2015, a major earthquake struck Nepal, causing severe damage in Kathmandu and other areas, and restoration is still underway. In Nepal, things take time to happen, and when they do, they tend to happen unevenly, so progress has been substantial in some areas and, well, limited in others. That said, much of the damage to the major sites has been repaired, although some historical treasures were lost forever. At number 10, Bardia National Park. Many people are surprised to learn that Nepal has extensive lowland areas where Bengal tigers, rhinos, crocodiles and elephants roam.
Nice.
One of the best spots to see these animals in their natural habitat is Bardia National Park. In addition to the large animals, the park is also a bird-watching hotspot. That's the feathered variety, with over 400 species either living in or transiting through the region. Located off on its own in northwest Nepal near the border of India, this area is known for its river valleys, extensive grasslands and tropical forest dominated by the sal tree. Areas of the national park were once the exclusive hunting domain of Nepali royalty.
Sorry, I get emotional, but it reminded me of a place in Nepal.
At 9, Everest and the trek to base camp. The summit of Mount Everest, the highest mountain on Earth, reaches 8,848 meters high. Trekking in the Mount Everest area became popular following the now legendary first ascent of the peak in 1953, all those years ago, by Edmund Hillary from New Zealand and the Sherpa Tenzing Norgay. Since that time, many more have summited the mountain, but far more trek the route to Everest Base Camp simply for a glimpse of the peak far above. In recent years, the mountain has seen its fair share of tragedy and drama. The 2015 earthquake and previous avalanches, along with disputes between climbers on the mountain, have left their mark on Everest trekking and climbing. The Everest region is generally not regarded as the most scenic region in the country for trekking, but the allure of Everest makes it a popular destination, both for climbers and trekkers. For those not looking to trek to Mount Everest, but still wanting to see the mountain, it is possible to see it on clear days from the hill town of Nagarkot near Kathmandu. Hotel staff will knock on guests' doors on clear mornings if Everest is visible. Hopefully they won't be sleeping.
I had no idea.
This might be the lazy traveller's best chance of seeing the world's highest peak. At 8, Swayambhunath, Monkey's Temple.
Been there.
Set on a hilltop to the west of Kathmandu, Swayambhunath is the second most important shrine in the Kathmandu Valley after Buddhanath. Due to the resident monkeys that inhabit parts of the temple, it is more affectionately known as the Monkey Temple. The Swayambhu Stupa, painted with the eyes of the omnipresent god, forms the centerpiece of the temple complex. It was originally a prehistoric cult site, but the temple complex dates to the 5th century. Swayambhu plays a major part in the lives of the Vajrayana Buddhists of northern Nepal and Tibet, but especially of the Newari Buddhists of the Kathmandu Valley. At 7, trekking in the Langtang region. The Langtang region, home to the Langtang National Park, is an incredible area for hiking, with high passes, extensive views, old monasteries and beautiful mountain scenery. Rhododendron forests bloom during the spring hiking season, adding colour to the vistas. The region, home to the Sherpa people, is less developed than some of the other popular trekking areas in Nepal and generally, less busy on the trails, despite its close proximity to Kathmandu. Villages with guest houses and food can be found along the route, although somewhat more spread out than in other trekking regions.
Looks almost like
This area can be reached easily from Kathmandu by jeep in 7 to 8 hours.
Right.
On a clear day, the peak of Langtang Lirung, at only 7,245 metres, which dominates the surrounding area of the same name, is visible from Kathmandu. Next up, at 6, it's Chitwan National Park.
Never been.
Chitwan National Park is the place to come to experience a different side of Nepal.
And Grandad.
This is a wonderful place for wildlife viewing, and it has a safari-type atmosphere. At an altitude of only 100 metres in some areas, much lower than Kathmandu at 1,400 metres, Chitwan has a tropical monsoon climate, quite different than what you'd expect to find in Nepal. Travellers come here to see, wildlife. The park is home to rhinos, Bengal tigers, leopards, sloth bears, boar, buffalo, deer, and many other critters. Freshwater dolphins, gangetic, and crocodiles inhabit the rivers and streams, but are rarely seen. More than 500 species of birds make Chitwan a paradise for ornithologists. Tours from the lodges take you out into the park, either on foot or more often on elephants for close-up views of the animals, including elephants. Chitwan lies southwest of Kathmandu, close to the Indian frontier, and is included in the UNESCO list of World Cultural Heritage Sites. In at 5, trekking in the Annapurna region. The Annapurna region is one of the most popular trekking regions in Nepal, with options that range from a few days to a few weeks. 3 main routes in the Annapurna region intersect and combine in places, and you can opt to do a portion or a variation on the routes. The routes are well marked and, easy to follow. The Annapurna circuit around Annapurna Mountain takes about 21 days to complete and is incredibly popular with people who have enough time to waste. This route is sometimes called the Apple Pie Circuit, in reference to the fact that most of the tea houses along the route serve their own version of fried apple pie.
Whoa!
A popular hiking destination in this region, often offered in hiking packages in combination with the Annapurna circuit, is the trek to Poon Hill at 3,210 metres near Gorepani. Most hikers try to be on Poon Hill early to see sunrise and a stunning view of Dhulagiri, Annapurna South, Makapuchere and Singachuli. The Annapurna Sanctuary nestles between the peaks of Annapurna and takes 5 days to reach. Muktinath is on the way to Annapurna, but has since become a destination in its own right. The Muktinath route runs in the Kali Gandaki Valley on the east flank of Annapurna and takes 7 days.
Those bridges.
North of Muktinath is Mustang, a small region that was only opened up to tourists in 1992. This area has its own fascinating culture. In many regards, the Annapurna region north of Pokhara is an ideal walking area. The dramatic contrasts of the Nepalese countryside are especially visible from the subtropical vegetation of the Pokhara Valley to the dry rain shadow area with features of the Tibetan plateau. The people and cultures are also very different. Facial characteristics, food, houses, lifestyles, customs and religion. And laughing at tourists. At 4, it's Pokhara. Set at the base of the foothills and surrounded by some of the highest mountains in the world, Dhulagiri, Manaslu and Annapurna 1, Pokhara is one of Nepal's most scenic cities. For trekkers, Pokhara is the gateway to the Himalayas and the starting point for treks to Jomsom and the Annapurna region. It's also a wonderful spot to relax for a bit, either before or after a hiking trip. By population, it is the second largest city in Nepal after Kathmandu, but still does not feel like a big city. At 3, Bodhanath Stupa, or Bodhnath. The Bodhnath Stupa, just outside Kathmandu, is one of the largest stupas of its kind in the world and dates to sometime around the 6th century, possibly even earlier. Like Bhaktapur, it lies on the old trade route to Tibet and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The stupa itself is a symbol of enlightenment, but at Bodhanath, the symbolism is particularly clear. Each different shape represents one of the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and sphere, which are also the attributes of the 5 Buddhas. Brought together in the form of the stupa, their unity reflects in abstract fashion the structure of the universe itself. The stupa sustained minor damage during the 2015
I've
earthquake
been there.
and is
Looked
now
exactly
fully
like
repaired.
that.
At 2, Bhaktapur. Bhaktapur, the third of the royal cities, lies on the old trade route to Tibet, just outside of Kathmandu. For Bhaktapur, the trade route was both an arterial link and major source of wealth. Its relative remoteness at the time allowed the city to develop independently and in ways which distinguish it from the other two cities. In contrast to Patan and Kathmandu, the population of Bhaktapur is primarily Hindu. The best place from which to begin a tour of the city is Durbar Square, where in addition to the royal palace, several temples are also situated.
I must have been
there. The
there.
whole area is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And finally, at number 1...
What is it?
You might have guessed it. Kathmandu.
Oh, in general?
Kathmandu, the capital and largest city in Nepal, is like no other city in the world.
The hill.
The decaying buildings in the heart of the city are a stark contrast to the lively atmosphere that permeates the streets. The smell of incense wafts from stores while street sellers push their goods and people go about their daily lives, all against a backdrop of historic temples and carved statues. For several hundred years, Kathmandu was one of 3 rival royal cities, along with Bhaktapur and Patan. Situated in close proximity to each other, today these 3 almost run together. The highlight of Kathmandu has long been Durbar Square, the largest of the palace squares in the 3 royal cities and a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Oh, I had to fight holding back tears. I was like, no, Sabina, don't cry too much. But Boda is my favorite place in the whole world. If I would have to pick one place in the world, it would be Boda and the Bodhanath Stupa. It's, I cannot explain it. It's just on a different level. It's just beautiful. Like I mentioned, I was in Nepal for almost 2 years, but mostly in Kathmandu. From Kathmandu, I visited Namo Buddha. I think in total I must have stayed there also like 3, 4, 5 months because I kept visiting, staying long term. And I did lots of pilgrimage to different sites from Kathmandu. At that time, I was a devout Buddhist and I did Buddhist pilgrimages. So I went to caves of Milarepa, caves of Padmasambhava. There's like a spring that Padmasambhava blessed, or through which the spring came into being. Or I'm uncertain about that. I don't remember anymore exactly. But those were the pilgrimage places, plus trying to find and get blessed by certain holy beings. And it was a very, very special time. I loved it so very much. I did retreats, long-term retreats at Kopan Monastery, which is just outside of Kathmandu, Kapan, on the hill. The 3 big Tibetan Buddhist monasteries. So very beautiful. Yeah, I stayed there in total 4 months at least. And I don't know what else to say. It has a very special place in my heart, and I know for so many people too who visited. And I don't think you would expect it, but I really want to show it to Angelo one day. I'd love for my boyfriend to experience it. Also, my best friend Claire, she would love to go. So yes, fingers crossed. I hope we have the merit in this lifetime. And now almost everything is rebuilt. I was there for the first time in 2015, just after the earthquake. And there was a lot of damage at that time. However, I was there also in 2017, and then it was it looked much better. And the Bodha Stupa was actually perfectly rebuilt. They just consecrated it when I was there. Yeah. I've seen so many different teachers, all Tibetan Buddhism. Of course, I've been to Pashupatinath, but that's it. And at that time, I did not know I had no idea about Sanatana Dharma, about Hinduism, zero. I heard the words, of course, of Krishna. I heard the word Shiva, but I didn't know what anything means. No. So going there now will be very different. And second time I walked out of the plane, I arrived in Nepal, the airport. I didn't do it, but I because, I don't know, I was a bit insecure at that time. But in my mind, I literally fell down on the ground and touched my head on the ground. Yeah, that's how I feel about Nepal. Just bowing my head. I probably was Nepali in my past life, or Tibetan. Maybe Tibetan. That's why I have such a strong connection to Tibetan Buddhism. Yeah. Who knows? Okay, so this is my video making up for the other disastrous video. I hope you enjoyed it. I love you all so very much. Nepalis, wow. You're very fortunate despite of everything going on. And yes. Okay. Much love, peace, and namaste.